This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Intercom investigating fatal shooting of teen in Greenwich Town. The Independent Commission of Investigations, Intercom, says it's probing the fatal shooting of a teen by the police on West Avenue in Greenwich Town, Kingston last night. The deceased has been identified as 18-year-old O'Neill Chambers. Intercom says the police reported that about 10:45, a team was on patrol in the community when a group of approximately 8 persons were seen at the gate of a premises. Upon seeing the police, it is alleged that the group dispersed and one man remained and pointed a firearm at the cops. A policeman reportedly discharged his weapon in the direction of the man. The injured man was taken to the Kingston Public Hospital where he was confirmed dead. A Springfield pistol bearing a serial number was reported as being retrieved at the scene by the police. Intercom says its forensic team, along with personnel from the police's scene of crimes, processed the scene. The weapons of the concerned officers, as well as a recovered firearm, were seized, photographed, boxed, and sealed for testing at the government's forensic laboratory. All concerned officers were served with notices to furnish statements and to attend the offices of Intercom to be interviewed. Intercom personnel revisited the scene today to canvass for witnesses. Residents had blocked roads in the community, expressing anger about the shooting, and reported to Intercom a different version of events. Male suspects in murder of Portland couple released. The 2 male suspects held in relation to the murder of a couple in Portland last week have been released. They were freed from police custody yesterday, following a writ of habeas corpus application filed in the Portland Parish Court by their attorney, Queen's Counsel Peter Champagny. Shortly after the application was filed and served at the police station, the men, who had been in custody since the May 12 incident, were released. Champagny had asked in court documents for the men to be freed on the basis that they were being deprived of their liberty when there was no evidence against them. A woman who was taken into custody with the men was freed last Friday. The couple, who lived in the rural community of Barracks near Mansionville, Portland, was killed on the early morning of May 12. They are Lindsay and his wife Annette Gibson-Lindsay. It was reported that residents heard gunshots about 2 a.m. and called the police. When the police arrived, the husband's body with several gunshot wounds was found on the roadway near his house. The wife's body with chop wounds was found in the house. Granville Police Station fire damage estimated at over $20 million. An electrical short circuit is believed to be the cause of the fire that damaged the Granville Police Station in St. James early this morning. The damage has been estimated at over $20 million. The police are reporting that the blaze started shortly after midnight and that the fire department was summoned. Upon their arrival, it was discovered that inside the building was engulfed in flames. It took firefighters more than an hour to extinguish the blaze. Following the fire, the scene was visited by senior police and fire personnel, as well as government officials, including Member of Parliament for St. James West Central, Marlene Mullahu Ford, former president of the Montego Bay Chamber of Commerce, Mark Kerr Jarrett, who is the landlord for the property, also visited the location. Operations at the Granville Police Station will be relocated to the Irwin Police Post in the parish. Siblings perish in St. James House fire. 2 young siblings perished in a fire that destroyed their house in Lilliput, St. James this morning. They have been identified as 3-year-old Aiden Flowers and his 1-year-old brother Christopher. Reports from the Barrytown police are that about 8:30 a.m., the boy's mother went to a nearby shop to purchase items. It is further reported that residents saw flames coming from the family's house and raised an alarm. The police and fire department were summoned. The blaze was extinguished by firefighters, and during a cooling down exercise, the remains of the brothers were discovered. The community has been left in mourning. Bails extended for VBBS employees and others accused of COVID breaches. Several employees of the Victoria Mutual Building Society, VBBS, and others had their bails extended when they appeared before the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court today on allegations of breaching the Disaster Risk Management Act. Among the 27 accused are a popular social media influencer and an attorney at law. They are to return to court on July 13. The matter was rescheduled after the attorneys in the case asked for a new mention date. It is being alleged that on April 28, a police team was on patrol in the New Kingston area monitoring the nightly curfew when they received information that an event was in session at the VBBS building. The police went to the location where they reportedly heard loud music coming from the roof and saw party lights on top of the building. They reportedly made checks and discovered that the company was hosting an event called I Am VM Awards. The police then called for backup and went to the parking lot of the building where they reportedly saw several vehicles. The cops then turned on the lights on their service vehicles, and it was noticed that the music stopped and that persons started to leave the roof. Persons were arrested when they went to the parking lot and were subsequently charged. VBBS has denied that the company was hosting a party. According to the VBBS, it was hosting a virtual event and that the production was happening at the location. It has maintained that it had sought permission from the police and was granted an exemption letter. This is being denied by the police. Attorneys at law Stephen Jackson and Jariah Scott are representing the VBBS employees. 14 additional COVID-19 deaths, 93 new cases. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is reporting that Jamaica has recorded 14 more COVID-19 deaths, hiking the tally to 892. The ministry notes that the fatalities occurred between February 2 and May 17. The deceased are an 89-year-old man from St. James, whose death was previously under investigation, a 47-year-old woman from St. James, an 83-year-old woman from St. James, a 61-year-old woman from Westmoreland, an 87-year-old man from Westmoreland, a 70-year-old woman from Westmoreland, an 82-year-old man from Westmoreland, an 84-year-old man from Manchester, a 68-year-old woman from Manchester, a 74-year-old woman from Manchester, another 74-year-old woman from Manchester, a 57-year-old man from Manchester, an 86-year-old man from Manchester, and a 79-year-old woman from Manchester. The ministry notes that the COVID-19 deaths in Manchester occurred between March and May. Meanwhile, 4 more cases have been recorded as coincidental deaths, moving the tally to 132. The health ministry notes that one of the cases was previously under investigation, and 1 more fatality has been recorded, increasing that figure to 135. Meanwhile, there were 93 new cases with ages ranging from 7 months to 91 years, pushing the total to 47,572, with 22,793 being active. Of the new cases, 43 are women and 50 are men. Kingston and St. Andrew account for most of the new cases with 19, followed by St. Elizabeth with 18, and then St. Catherine with 15. A total of 2,101 tests were conducted. The country's positivity rate stands at 13.8%. In the meantime, there were 120 new recoveries, pushing the total to 23,530. Some 152 persons are in hospital, with 44 being moderately ill and 16 critically ill. 7 persons are in government quarantine, while 26,433 are at home. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.